Welcome to today's daily dose of sales inception. I'm Drew Norton, the everyday sales leader. And, one of the challenging parts of sales I found for a lot of individuals is mastering the tough conversations. Are we willing to speak truth and do it tactfully? And I think part of this goes back to, how do I view myself? What is my sales identity? So I've talked a little bit on previous episodes recently. How do I view myself? Do I view myself as an advocate for my prospective clients, for my current customers, that I'm going to champion on their behalf? Do I view myself as a leader, that I'm going to help them see things they maybe didn't realize, help them see a path to get what they want? Am I going to be a guide and willing to show them the way? And whatever your sales identity is or whatever resonates with you, do you see yourself as someone who's ultimately at the end of the day going to do what's in the best interest for your prospective client and be who they need you to be? And so I think there comes a point in sales conversations where maybe going through discovery, maybe asking the client questions about their current situation, they're going to reveal some things about themselves. And sometimes they're going to not just reveal things about their pain or their situation that they're in. They're going to reveal maybe some beliefs they have that simply aren't true. And that's one of our first opportunities to have a reality check with someone. It's one of our first opportunities to start objection handling. And I think a lot of times people believe the objection handling happens at the end. I go for the close, then the objections come out, then I handle them all. No, the objection handling should happen in discovery. So as we draw concerns out of our prospects, out of our customers, out of potential clients, that's the opportunity to address the situation and move past it. So for example, maybe before you ever get into money, you're going to ask them, what they've invested in the past or what solutions they've looked into, or if they're ready to make an investment, or if they're ready to move forward. And if they start telling you why they don't have the money or why they can't do it, that's an opportunity, one, to qualify them, to see if they'd even be able to afford your product or service, right? Two, often that's our opportunity to challenge them and to help them see the way they view their way of thinking isn't helping them or isn't serving them. And so there's some soft ways to do that. Have you considered, would it be a bad idea? Could it be possible? How certain are you? Can I challenge you on that a little bit? And then link and show that their current line of thinking is going to continue to get them their current results. And that if they want to see a change, it's going to come from doing something, investing in themselves, making a change in their business, right? Investing in your product or service or your solution that you have for them. And so that can be tough. To me, that's the tough conversation. The tough conversation is being willing, when someone says something you know is clearly wrong and clearly an incorrect belief, helping them connect the dots and make a new realization about what they need to do or what they need to change. And that can be scary, right? And I think sometimes we're afraid as salespeople to be bold because what if I say this? If I go easy here and let them think about it, maybe they'll talk themselves into do this. Maybe on the next call, we'll help them get there. Most of the time, unless you're selling something that is intentionally 2 or 3 meetings or 2 or 3 touches before they buy, when someone gets on a call or gets into a purchasing meeting of sorts, a discovery meeting, a discovery call, a consultation with you, that you've got to realize that that's probably the last meeting. If we can't help them in that moment realize some tough things that other people aren't helping them realize, you're no more valuable than anybody else to them, right? And so our ability to then just let them hear the things they need to hear. And look, that doesn't mean you've got to be a jerk. That doesn't mean you've got to be rude to people. And I want someone to point out how I can do better. I want someone to connect the dots for me. I want someone to help me see things I don't see, to help me realize the blind spots I have that I might not be aware of. Right? And so, maybe you're a sales trainer and they think they have a marketing problem when it's really a sales problem. Right? Maybe you're working with someone and you're an insurance agent and they think they don't have enough money to buy life insurance, when the reality is, if something happens to them, they can't afford not to have it. Right? And so how do we help them draw those conclusions themselves? How do we help those things come up naturally for them? And that's where powerful language, how we say things, what we say, becomes very important. And so sometimes, especially if they tell me something that's just crazy, I'm going to dig a little bit. Tell me more about that. I'm going to repeat back what they say. I'm going to mirror. I'm going to, it sounds like you're saying this. And get them to repeat it. Sometimes it can be really powerful to get them to repeat it multiple times, especially if the first time it comes out, it's a long and complicated mess. It could be simple as saying, hey, I think I understand what you're saying, but will you tell that to me one more time just to make sure I understand it? And you do that with people 2 or 3 times, and that message is going to get really clear. And then that's where you can say, it sounds like you're looking for reasons not to grow your business. It sounds like you don't really want to save money on this area in your business, right? Whatever it might be. And that's where you can start to challenge somebody a little bit and maybe help them connect the dots. And so we do that by listening and then, like I said, using language to label what they say. And sometimes it comes as being direct as, hey, you know what I found? I had a customer. This was his experience. This is how we helped him. You're in that same shoes. If you continue along the path you're going along right now, this is going to be the outcome because I'm the expert and I've seen it before. And this is what's going to happen if you solve this problem we're talking about right now. You can be bold, right? And if you're, at the end of the day, if you view yourself, hey, I'm the advocate, I'm the guide, I'm the leader, I'm going to do what's in your best interest, it makes it so much easier to be bold and challenge and help someone and serve someone, right? If I view myself as a servant leader, I'm going to say what serves them, not say what serves me. So there's so much opportunity in being willing to have those tough conversations. I think it starts with how you view yourself, how you view your product or service, and then being willing to be who that person needs you to be and say what they need you to say. And that can happen very naturally in the conversation if we let them talk and tell us where they're at and what's going on. Those opportunities to challenge them are going to happen. And when those opportunities come up, challenge them early on. If you know there's objections you get quite frequently, bring those objections up before they do. Bring those objections up before you're trying to wrap up the deal and close the sale. Bring those objections up early so you have an opportunity to discover more, to dig, to solve the problem and get it out of the way. Bring those objections up early so you can help them discover how that line of thinking may not be correct and how that line of thinking might be limiting them. I want to think about it. Often I've found they don't have enough information or they're just in a habit of indecision in their life. And what they could really use is someone helping them make a decision. And I think if we can realize as salespeople, our role isn't to get people to say yes. Sometimes it is. If we know it's going to help them, that should be what we're helping. We should be looking to help the client say yes if that's in their best interest. And I believe the reason salespeople exist is because we should be professionals at helping people make a yes or no decision. Help them draw a conclusion. Help them do it quickly. And the quicker people act, the quicker people are going to see results in their life. And I'm not saying there isn't time for discussion with a spouse or discussion with a business partner. And that's, you can help eliminate some of those concerns by properly pre-qualifying and setting up the sales conversation, the consultation, the discovery call, and setting up the right expectations before you even sit down with somebody. So don't be afraid to go where it gets uncomfortable for you and for them. That's typically what's going to unlock breakthroughs. And if you're willing to speak the truth, if you're willing to do it tactfully, that's going to lead to huge success for you and for the clients you look to serve. I'm Drew, your everyday sales leader, and that's our daily dose of sales inception.